Hello my lovely and welcome back to my channel. In today's video, I wanted to share with you 5 tips for you to create a happier and more intentional home. If you're ready, let's just jump right in. Before we get into the tips, I quickly want to talk about what I mean when I talk about an intentional and happy home. Since moving into my new home, I have learned that mindfulness starts at home. Your home should be your safe haven, a place where you feel comfortable, a safe and comfortable space where you can be with yourself, where you can be with your thoughts, where you can get away from the world and just tune out, regain your energy, recenter yourself so that you can feel happier and healthier emotionally and physically. And the habits that you have at home will transfer into the habits that you have outside in the world. So if you create happier and intentional habits within your home, it will be easier to carry that through in your day-to-day, in your life, in your everyday, when you leave your home. And it all starts by creating happy and intentional habits within your home. And this is why I wanted to create this video for you, to share with you these 5 tips so that you can create a more intentional and happy space in your own home. That way you can feel a lot better and have the energy that you need to go out and achieve your goals and create your dream life. So if you're ready, let's get into the 5 tips. Tip number 1 is to decorate with plants. As you can see, I have a few plant babies behind me, and if you follow me on Instagram, then you know in the past 6 months I've created a new addiction to plants. But there is a reason for it. So the beauty with plants is that not only do they create life, bring life, literally life into your home, but there's also a lot of health benefits, physical and mental health benefits to having plants in your home. I won't get into the detail because I'm not an expert, but do your research. You will see there are benefits to having plants at home. And beyond that, if you want to create a happier and more intentional home, it goes back to the day-to-day mindfulness habits that you cultivate within your home. And I have found that taking care of plants has been a meditative and mindfulness practice, daily practice that I've had that has brought a lot of joy into my life. I take the time every single day to look at my plants, to check how they're doing, to water them. And I usually do this in the silence because I do it in a very meditative state. And the fact, when you prove to yourself, when you have the ability to take care of plants, for them to thrive and to grow and to create and to bring in life into your home, then it's almost like a reminder for yourself that if you can care for something else, you can do the same for you, and that you should be doing the same for you. So plants not only bring a lot of life, like I said, into your home, you can decorate with them, you can find, your style and what you enjoy in terms of plants, but it's also a wonderful self-care and mindfulness habit that you can cultivate within yourself, within your own home, to create a more intentional and happier space. And it just brings you a lot of joy. I would really encourage you to start maybe with 1 or 2 little plants and take it from there. Soon you will become a crazy plant lady like me. Trust me on that one. If you want to create a happier and more intentional home, my second tip is to diffuse essential oils. If we're talking about creating a safe place, if we're talking about creating a more intentional, cozy place in your home for you to feel better mentally and physically, diffusing essential oils is a great way to start because there are a lot of health benefits to it. Again, do your research, do your reading. I'm not an expert, but I know that what I've learned so far shows that there are health benefits to using essential oils, and if anything, it just creates a cozier, better smelling space in your home, and it just creates a cozier atmosphere. And it's a really easy way to spruce up your space and for you to just feel cozier and more comfortable so that you can feel a lot happier. Tip number 3, if you want to create a happier, more intentional home, is to use non-chemical cleaning products. I have to say that this is one of the things that I was particularly excited about when I moved into my new place. And this is the first time that I have a place all on my own. I've always had roommates or lived with my family. So I was very excited to be able to do things my way. And using non-chemical products was something that was on the top of my list because if you want to become a lot more intentional with your life, then you have to be a lot more intentional with the things that you're putting in your body, but also in your space. There are a lot of documentaries out there talking about the dangers of chemical products. I will not talk extensively about them, but I will leave a few of the names of the documentaries in the comments below, the description box below, so you can check them out. But what I've been doing is slowly transitioning as much as possible, within reason, within moderation, without exaggerating, transitioning into more natural, chemical-free, and also environmentally friendly cleaning products in my home. You can use essential oils, you can use vinegar, baking soda. There's so many different options, so many different recipes, and it's actually a lot of fun to start experimenting and being like a little chemist and trying different things out. But using non-chemical products is a great way for you to start to create a more intentional space. Not only will you minimize clutter, because that's one thing I never liked, is having too many products. You have 10 million different okay, I'm exaggerating, 10 million. You have so many different products to do so many different things, whereas you can just narrow it down, have a handful of products, all non-chemical, all things that you can make, environmentally friendly. You reduce your expenses, you reduce the clutter, and it's also just a more pleasant way to clean, because with essential oils and vinegar and baking soda and all those natural products, it's not as abrasive and it's not as aggressive, and when you spray it, it won't feel so toxic literally when you breathe it in. So I would really encourage you to consider moving into non-chemical products within your home to create a more intentional home, because if you take care of your body, you have to also take care of your space, because we are touching things all the time. You are using the dishes that you're washing, you're using the sink where you're washing your dishes. All these things will impact your health and ultimately your well-being. And if you want to feel happier and healthier, that is a small thing that you can do step by step, little by little, and that will have long-term benefits for you. And that's why when Simply Earth contacted me to collaborate with them to send me a free box, I was very excited, because it was perfectly aligned with my vision and my goals for my happier and more intentional home that I wanted to create for myself. And they sent me a beautifully curated box for chemical-free home products that I can make right at home, and it included a starter kit with coconut oil and almond oil and the base oils that you need to create your own products. And every single month, every box is curated for a specific purpose, and this month was all about creating a cleaner, better scenting home with the essential oils that you need and the recipes that you need to do just that. And I was very excited to partner with Simply Earth, because it was, like I said, perfectly aligned with my goals and my values and what I wanted to do in my new home. I will make another video talking more about this box, because it has been really fun to try them out. It was my first time trying them out, and I was very excited about it. And they did give a coupon code for you if you want to try out your box. I will leave the link in the description box for you if you want to check it out. And if you want to check out my next video where I talk more about specifically the Simply Earth box, then make sure to check out my next video. I will talk more in detail about that and show you what I got and what I made and what I thought about it. Tip number 4 to have a happier and more intentional home is to declutter your space. This is something else I was very excited about, because if you follow me on Instagram, then you know that I'm a little bit OCD when it comes to organization, and the step before organizing is to declutter, which is something that I'm constantly doing, but it is something that I did twice last year. I followed the Marie Kondo method, and it works magically. And I have to say, when you want to create a happier, more intentional home, the less stuff that you have, the less clutter you have, the less cluttered your mind is going to be. It is so incredible. When you start getting rid of things, you are really just getting rid of almost emotional baggage. And one of my goals with this home was that every single thing in my home had a purpose. Every single item in my home has a specific intention for it. If I have a use for it, if it brings me joy, if there's a decoration that I want to keep that brings me good memories when I look at, if it fits into my aesthetic, if I enjoy looking at it, or if I have pots and pans and I have just exactly the tools that I need in my kitchen, then it's okay to keep them. But I minimized what I had, I decluttered my space, and I tried to keep my space as tidy and organized as possible. Every single thing has a spot, because when my space is organized and decluttered, I know exactly what's what and what is where, and if I need something, that I can go find it. Not only do I waste less energy finding things, not only do I waste less energy being stressed out that I feel cluttered and claustrophobic because there's too many things, not only do I feel less stressed out that I'm actually not enjoying all the stuff that I have, I'm able to enjoy everything that I have. I'm able to enjoy my wardrobe. I'm able to enjoy all the clothes that I have because I don't have as much as before. Every single thing that I have is very intentional. So if you want to create a happier and more intentional home, that will be another great place to start, is to declutter. Get rid of the burden, get rid of the stuff that you don't need, get rid of the stuff that is just what you don't realize is actually emotional clutter, that is actually just draining your energy. There are some things in your life that are subconsciously draining your energy and you're not aware of it, and that is one of them. And when you go through the process of purging and getting rid of stuff, you're letting go of a past identity, you're letting go of the past, you're letting go of things that do not serve you anymore to make space for the things that do matter, for the things that do bring you a purpose and that are intentionally bringing you something in your life. So I would really encourage you to reflect on your home, what you bring into it, what you get rid of, and to declutter and organize, because it will make you feel a lot happier. And also, if you think about it, the less stuff you have, the less thing you have to tidy, the less things you have to clean, which means you have more time to do the things that matter. You have more time and energy because you're wasting less time organizing and cleaning. You have more time to focus on the things that matter. You have more time to go out and do your hobbies and to enjoy life rather than cleaning all the time. That's another great thing. My home is not that big. It's the perfect size for me, but it doesn't take me that long to clean. And that means that I have a beautiful space. It's clean, it's organized, but then I have time and energy to do other things. I'm not taking the time to always tidy and to always clean. So I want you to really think about that, how your space is ultimately what I want you to think about in this video, is how your space and your home is affecting your energy, and what are the changes that you can make to create a happier, more intentional home, and how you can be more intentional with your practices, your habits, and the things that you bring into your life, into your home, that you put into your mind, into your body, to feel better. Which leads us into tip number 5 to create a more intentional and happier home, which is that everything has a place and a purpose. So I mentioned that in tip number 4, but I'm going to elaborate because it's just that important. If you know exactly where things go, you spend a lot less time and a lot less energy trying to organize and tidy your space. When everything has a place, you know exactly where it goes and you don't have to overthink it. You know where your keys go, you know where your shoes go, you know where everything goes. So there's a lot of sub tips that I can share with that, but I think I might make another video related just to organization and creating a tidy space. But take the time every single day, 5-10 minutes, to tidy up your home. Fold the last little the clothes that you wore that day. Put away your purse. Put away anything that's on the counters. Being very intentional with your habits and doing that as a mindfulness practice, doing it in the silence and just being very intentional with how you're spending your time and your energy will drastically change how you feel, because it can be a time for you to recenter yourself. It can be a time for you to meditate, and ultimately at the end the result is going to be a tidier space, which will make you feel more relaxed and which will make you feel more at peace and safe and more comfortable in your home, which is the ultimate purpose here, is to feel happier and more intentional in your home. So what I would encourage you to do is to not only declutter, but then really think strategically about where you place things in your home. Be very purposeful with everything that you bring into your home, with what you keep in your home, and to stay organized. And one tip that I'm going to share in this video, this is something that I always do. If something takes you less than 3 minutes, you have to do it. What do I mean? If you just had a cup of coffee and you have no dishes, it's going to take you less than 3 minutes to wash those dishes, and the long-term benefits of that will be beneficial because you won't have an accumulation of dishes and you will have a clean sink. When you walk into the door, put away your keys right away, put away your purse right away, put away your shoes right away. It takes you less than 3 minutes. And instead of you piling up as you go, as you settle into your home, And as you take off your clothes, you take off your purse, etc. Long term, you will spend less time tidying if you do it right away. That is a quick tip that I have that really has always worked for me to keep a tidier space. But ultimately, tip number 5 to create a happier and a more intentional home is to be very intentional with what you bring into your home, and that everything should have a space and a spot in your home, and to tidy up as much as you can to keep it as organized so that you can feel a lot more comfortable and less cluttered with what you have in your home. I hope that you were inspired to create a happier and more intentional home, at least to apply one of the tips in this video. Start with one and you will see you will feel inspired and it will make a big difference and you'll want to do all 5 tips. But I want to hear from you. What is one tip that you can share with the community here? What is one thing that you do in your home that makes you feel happier and makes you feel like you have a more intentional space? Let's share our knowledge. Let's share our tips. I want to hear from you as well. I want to learn from you as well. Make sure to check the description box for a $40 discount for your first box with Simply Earth. And you also get a bonus box, which is your starter pack, which will help you get started on creating your own natural products at home. And I want to know if you get it. I want to know what you thought about it, because I've been very happy with my Simply Earth box, and I hope that you will apply these tips and that you will be able to get started on creating a more intentional and happier home, because I have felt very happy in my new home, and it's been great creating a more intentional space and to be very mindful with what I do with my space, what I use in it. But yeah, I hope that this was useful. I hope that you enjoyed this video, and make sure to check the description box for all the links that I mentioned. Until next video, bye for now.